Okay, so this is my D&E assignment. So I chose to create a strategy for an 8th grade science class for a beginning level ELL student. And basically with my strategy, it's 3 different steps, and they all build off of one another. So the first step, basically throughout the whole strategy, you're going to use several charts and graphs, any visuals that you can provide for these students. The next thing you're going to do is do lots of various activities. I'm just going to show the first ones, how you pronounce the words and introduce them, but various activities for practice, as many practice opportunities as possible need to be used. And basically all the review methods, no matter if you're in the 3rd step and you're looking back on step 1, situations, they always need to be reviewed until the student can really take these words into context and use these words throughout the lesson, even when you're not just sitting around focusing on these vocabulary words specifically. So step 1 is basically just 1-syllable words. You're just now introducing them. They need to be in the context. The learner oftentimes is going to feel overwhelmed, so a big part of this is making sure they don't feel overwhelmed, making them feel comfortable. So using 1-syllable words really helps with that. So, and a lot of times in a classroom setting, you'll have a word wall that you put up, and it can just be the board in the front of the room, and you just write on the board your various vocabulary words. You don't want to have an abundance of them. That way it helps the student feel more at home, but for the most part, they're going to be 1-syllable words, and here's some examples. Okay, start with this one.
Solar.
Okay, next one.
Mass.
Next one.
Wave.
Okay, so that's just some simple 1-syllable words, just solar, mass, weight. Stuff that's still in the context. It always needs to be science related if you're on the science topic, or if you're doing math, it needs to be math related. But just basically anything in the content area. Level 2, you are basically going to just up the amount of words that they know. You're going to start introducing 2-syllable words, and it's really important just to give within 5 to 7. That way the student doesn't feel overwhelmed, and they just have that little spectrum of words to look through. Oftentimes, it is good to make sure that the students pick their own words. Maybe you give them an article or something or even like a copy of a PowerPoint if you're teaching off a PowerPoint, and just say, hey, this is our PowerPoint, what words do you want to know? And just give them, some just words they can pick. That way it helps them. So here's some examples of just 2-syllable words.
Physics.
Okay.
Current.
Okay.
Structure.
Okay. So those are just some 2-syllable words: physics, structure, and current, that you could see possibly in a content area related. And basically level 3, you're adding multi-syllable words where, you're having 2 to 3 syllables. It's very important in this though too to make sure if a student is not ready to progress from step 1 to step 2, you give them time, because if you rush them, they may not learn, and step 1 is the foundation, so if they don't get their foundation, they're not going to be able to get the more complex words later on. And step 3 is where the student starts to really evolve from being just a 2-syllable word reader to more complex words, to even using these in the content area. So here's some step 3 words.
Biology.
Okay.
Chemistry.
Okay.
Biomass.
Okay, so the student at this point should be getting a lot of the content and realizing that they can use it during the content structured activities. And then again, you always need to review. Always keep your word wall up. You just keep adding to your word wall. If you run out of room, just take away and just start at whatever level you're at and still review the old words. The key part in this strategy is just lots of repetition, lots of visuals. I didn't show an example of a visual, but an example of a visual could be, you give them the word biology. Well, they might know how to pronounce the word and know how to use it, but they don't know what biology is. show them a diagram of a tree and just say, this is what biology is. It's a study of life. Just showing them, breaking the words down is really key in this. So basically with this strategy, it's just all repetition, breaking down words, lots of visuals, and just lots of making the student comfortable. Since they are beginning ELL, they don't know much English or if any at all. So just making the student comfortable in a great learning environment.